Take a moment right here, feeling like it's out gear. Driving towards the sun with a rose and a gun. Feel the wind in my hair, going nowhere I swear. Like an outlaw on the run, dangerous but it's so fun. Running, running, no. Hold on, don't let go. Running, running, no. Keep running.
Hi guys, welcome back to another video. So in today's video I'm going to be showing you how I make my own full cover nail tips. So if you guys are anything like me at all, you probably have tons and tons of various kinds of tips, and I got absolutely sick of having all these bags of tips that I don't use because they're not my size or whatever, so I decided to use what I had to make my own. So if you guys are interested to see how I make my own full cover nail tips, then just keep on watching. So guys, jumping right in with today's tutorial, and I'm going to be starting by applying my favourite peel off base coat. This is Peel Off Base Coat. I absolutely love this stuff and it's the only one I use, but definitely go ahead and use anything that you have at your hand. So you want to apply 2 coats of your peel off base coat, but what I will mention, if you want your tips to last longer, then the peel off base coat isn't going to work. But if you just want to be able to pop these off and use them for a different manicure, then definitely I highly suggest the Peel Off Base Coat. So go ahead and apply 2 coats of that to your nails and allow them to dry completely. So the nail tips I'm using today are these pointed almond tips by Glitter Planet UK. I absolutely love these. They are super clear and really the shape is just so beautiful. They really require minimal filing and that's why I love them so much. But if you don't have normal nail tips at hand, you could use forms, or you could use Polygel with forms, or you could go even ahead and use them with dual forms. But chances are you have a crap ton of these nail tips at home. So what you want to do is go ahead and measure up your nail tips with your fingers. As you can see, I have super tiny nail beds, so I have to use my stork scissors to go ahead and trim them to my size. So what I do is just pinch the nail tip so it forms a slight C curve, and then I go ahead and use my stork scissors and snip off those little wings so they fit perfectly to my nail. And that's the great thing about these DIY tips, is that they are completely done to your nail size, so they aren't like a one size fits all. You have completely styled them for your nail and your nail only. And I also want to mention that you have to remember that you're applying these tips to your peel off base coat, so you need to be super careful and make sure you're attaching them to that nail without uplifting the base coat. So I just like to pay close attention to the middle to make sure it is stuck to the nail, and then when I have applied all of my tips to the nail, to fuse all of that together, I go in with a layer of base coat. Any base coat is completely fine, but you just want to make sure you're fusing both of them together. And since we haven't filed those tips because we need them for a little bit added strength, you are going to require maybe 1 to 2 coats of base coat just so you have an even nail. So for the purposes of today's video, I'm going to be using this poly extension gel by ursugar. I got mine from AliExpress. It's the first time I've actually used it, so I thought, what the hell, I'm going to see how this actually performs instead of it sitting in my drawer and just gathering dust. So I'll be using that, and also my Madam Glam Polygel brush, which is my all-time favourite brush for any kind of polygel. And I'll also be having a little dapping dish full of some nail cleanser so I could keep my brush from sticking to the polygel. But I just wanted to quickly show you guys just how the nails look nice and flush to the nail with that added base coat, and it basically just gives you a nice even layer to start working with your polygel or gel depending on what you're using. So I start by taking a bead of that polygel and I pop it to the top of the nail, and this is just going to be a fusion layer. So basically this is just making sure the tip and your natural nail are completely flush and one. So I wet my polygel brush and wipe off the excess, and you want to to remember that the one thing about Polygel is when you're using a cleanser or a slip solution, you really do not need too much, because that could be what is causing your Polygel to lift. So if you're having any issues with your Polygel, then probably use less liquid, because you only need the liquid to make sure your brush isn't sticking to that Polygel and is nice and pliable, and you're able to maneuver that gel evenly down the nail. So as you can see, I start at the cuticle area and then I slowly work down that Polygel right down the whole nail, making sure I have a nice even layer coating that whole nail. Now as you can see, I do really take my time, and that is because I want to make sure this layer is nice and thin and the nail isn't too bulky, because what you have to remember is these are only nail tips. These are not going to be basically a full nail, so you don't need structure or anything like that. You just need an even layer to make the nail look nice, if that makes any sense. I hope I'm explaining this well to you guys, but you just basically need a nice even layer to fuse all of that together, so your whole nail becomes basically one nail. I hope that makes sense. And you also want to remember that you're cleaning under the nail, because like I've also mentioned, this is only a nail tip, so any kind of bulkiness will make your design that you put on top look extra bulky, which filing won't take away. So really pay close attention to what you're doing and make sure you've tidied it up as much as possible. You have a nice even layer of Polygel on that nail, and then when you're happy with that, go ahead and pop that first layer into your LED light for 60 seconds. So now that I have finished the first layer, I'm now going in with my next bead of Polygel, and this one is going to go slightly below the cuticle to the middle of the nail, and this is going to act as the apex of my nail. And basically what I do is I start at the middle, brush up slightly minimal Polygel to the cuticle area, make sure that's nice and even, and then I brush the rest down, being sure that I leave a good chunk of that Polygel to the middle of the nail to act as the apex. And the reason you want a good apex on your nail is because as soon as you apply a gel polish or any kind of nail art on top of these tips, it is really going to show that you have put the work in. I love nothing more than a spot on apex and really good gel application, so I really do take my time on the second layer, and the reason for that is this layer is basically going to act as our tip. So once you're finished this is all we do, so you want to make sure you've built your apex and you're really happy with the shape and structure of your nail. And then I also want to mention, guys, I popped that into my LED light for a full cure, and when they came out I noticed that they had this totally weird like white chalky substance on them. I hadn't touched them with anything. This was them literally just coming right out of the light. So I don't know what the hell went wrong with this ursugar product. I have never saw this before. So I thought I would try and wipe it away, but it didn't remove, but it did with the filing. As for the filing, guys, I haven't really showed you much of my filing. I'm not the best at it, but I have sort of got this little rhythm going. So basically what I do is I start with the sidewalls and I make sure that little ridge of the nail file is pointed away when I do my first file, and that helps me get the bottom of the tip looking really nice and crisp. And then I turn it so the ridge is facing me, and then that helps with the sides of the nail tip. And then I work my way down the whole nail until I have evenly filed that nail, and I also make sure I file the bit that sits at the side of the top of the cuticle, because this is obviously going to be the start of the nail, so you want it to look nice and even, so when you apply these to your nails, they look really nice and flush. So here they are all filed, and I just want to show you how super easy it is to pop these off with that peel off base coat. I have used nail guards and things like that before, but they hurt like a mother taking off, so this peel off base coat doesn't hurt in any way, shape or form. And now I'm just going in with my e-file with a really tiny bit, and I'm smoothing out the underneath of that nail file, so when I go to add my glue and stuff to that, it is nice and even and they fit nice and snug on my nails. And I also make sure that I'm filing the underside of the nail tip where it will sit on my natural nail, just to make sure I have evened out any of that polygel, just to make sure any bumps and ridges are gone, so when I go ahead to apply them to my natural nail, they fit nice and snug. Now I am just wiping away all of that dust and that sticky layer, and as you could see, they are super snug and really fit perfectly to my own nails. They look like my nails, if that makes any sense. So that's the one thing that I love about making my own nail tips, is that they are completely made to fit my nails and I don't have to worry about anything showing through. So they fit from sidewall to sidewall and they are completely curved and fit my natural nails. And finally, guys, this is what the nails look like once they are all filed and stuck to my nails. I have only put them on with blue tack so you guys could see what they look like, because I am going to be using these specific nails for an up-and-coming Halloween design. So yeah, definitely stay tuned for that. So I really hope this tutorial was helpful for you guys and you picked up a few tips and tricks. And as always, if you notice anything else on my channel that you would like to see a tutorial on, then definitely let me know in the comment section below and I will get that done for you guys, no problem at all. I enjoy making videos, so yeah, any suggestions would be greatly appreciated. And if you did enjoy today's video and you found it helpful, please give me a thumbs up. I would totally appreciate it. And if you're new to my channel, hello, my name is Kylie. I am a complete nail polish addict, and on this channel you will find everything from nail art to swatches, reviews and the occasional haul. So if that's something that piques your interest, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and don't forget to click that notifications bell. And as always, thank you so much for watching and I will see you in the next one. Bye!